Hello guys, welcome to the User Studio. Today I'm going to be introducing you to the Blender software. So this video is made for someone who is opening Blender for the very first time and you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, and you're seeing the program for the first time. So I assume you've downloaded it and you're seeing everything for the first time. So let's get into the video. So for the first time when you open Blender software, you're going to see this kind of screen that you're seeing, and right now the version that I'm using is its 3.5 version, and every Blender version that you would want to be opening for the very first time is going to be showing this kind of splash screen. So this is called a splash screen, and it always has an image here and some quick setup here. So it has options to set a language that you prefer. So for me, I use English, but you can be using any other language in the ones you see here, and it gives you the option to define your shortcuts and also what to select with. But for me, I'm fine with selecting with the left mouse button, but if you're fine with selecting with the right mouse button, you can also click the right mouse button. So for me, I'll leave it to the left mouse button. And coming to the spacebar is for playing. So Blender theme, the dark mode works well for me. Always choose any of these. There's the light mode, there is the deep gray, there is Maya. As you change them, they all look different in the different color themes. So for me, I'll stick to the Blender dark mode since it's more user friendly, and I recommend it for you if you're opening Blender for the first time, because even most of the tutorials that you ever come across are using this kind of theme, so it will be very friendly for you to follow up on the tutorials that you're going to be learning from. After setting up everything, I just save the new settings, and once I save the new settings, the splash screen is going to change and it brings these kind of menus which are going to always appear whenever you open the program. So the splash screen you'll be getting whenever you open the Blender software is going to be like this. And for us to get rid of it right now, we're just going to click anywhere, but you can always select anything here according to where you want to go. There is a general, there is a 2D animation, there is sculpting, there is VFX and video editing. So but for us, we're not going for that now. We're just getting introduced to the software and we just want to get into the software. So to get rid of the splash screen, you're going to just click anywhere and it will disappear. When it disappears, you're going to find this default cube, and this is how the Blender interface looks like. On top here, we're having the toolbar where you're going to find this bunch of things. There is files, there is edit, there is render, there is windows, there is help, there is many things. So this is the toolbar. So these are the areas, this one and this one and this one and this one. So Blender is split into areas. So when I come here to the corner like this one, hold here, put your mouse cursor there, and it will bring that plus sign. Then you can create another area for yourself, or create another area here just by bringing the mouse button. As long as it brings the plus sign, you just create an area there. And if you want to get rid of it, you just gonna wait for the plus button and you try to move it again in the area you want to close, so it will be filled by another area. And if I want to close this one too, I do the same thing. So those are the areas, and so this toolbar includes many options here. As you can see, there is this Blender logo which you can click on and you can go to the splash screen. You can learn about Blender, you can get application templates and install them. So you can also go to the system, reload scripts and all that stuff. So you can even click on this splash screen. When you click on the splash screen, just in case you need it, when you click here, it will come and appear again. So but we don't need it, so we shall click anyway again for it to disappear. So when you come to the file is where you do things that deal with all the files that you're going to be using in Blender. So the first option helps you to go to a new general file. If you click new general file, you will just receive this same thing. If you come here and select 2D animation, you just don't need to save any changes here. So it's going to be able to bring the 2D animation, and when you come back here and you click on VFX or sculpting or video editing, it'll still do the same thing. So we're going to go back to the general, and this is where we are going to just get familiar with the interface. So open lets you open existing files that you have for Blender, and you can always click on it and it will always bring a pop-up, and you'll be able to select your files from your desired locations. We don't have any recent files to open, so this one just lets you open recent files. They're always listed here, and if you want to recover the last session or an autosave, you can click on any of these here on the recover. Saving does the same thing. It just saves your files. Save as almost the same thing. Save a copy, and append just helps you bring some objects into your Blender scene from another Blender file, and data preview import helps you import things, exporting things, and quit external data. Yeah, we shall all look at those ones as we get into deeper tutorials. So there is also an edit option. This one lets you undo, redo, history, those are the things. It won't be mostly very useful to you, because as long as you learn the shortcuts, you won't need to go here. There's also the render menu that is for rendering options. There is render an image if you want to render an image, want to render an animation, an audio, view a render, or view an animation. It'll help you with all of that. So there's also another menu for the window. You want to open a new window, you want a new main window, and this one just lets you toggle into windows. You set a screenshot editor, anything. So help just lets you go to the Blender manual, look for tutorials, support, and all that stuff that you might wanna get. So next up here, as you've left the toolbar, we find the workspaces. These ones are called workspaces. There are very many, as you can see. Starting from the layout. The layout is where you will always have this default thing. It's always the layout by default. When you go to the modeling, things change a little bit, and it also looks like this. But this one helps you in just modeling. Sculpting, the same thing. It does some sculpting, and it'll be helpful when you're doing some sculpting. UV editing, this is where you unwrap your UV maps and work on them as you're working with the textures. Texture painting, this is where texture paint from, and yeah, that is what it does. And shading. So shading lets you do some shading to your 3D objects, and animation, rendering, compositing, geometry nodes, scripting, and there are other workspaces you can always add. And yeah, So everything is just pretty that direct. So coming back to the layout, which is default, uh, we have different areas here, and this one is called the 3D viewport. And when you come here, you can always switch from it and go to any other area that you want to be doing some different edits from as you're using the program. So this one on the top right is called the outliner. This is where you are going to always have your object lined up. So if I press Shift A and add another object, you're going to see it pop up there. Let's say a sphere. So we have a sphere here, so that is the outliner. Whenever you want to see the objects that you have in a 3D scene, this is the area for you to go. On the bottom right, find the properties. These are properties now. There is the tool, workspace settings, there is the render properties, there are output properties, view layer properties, physics, modifiers, and all of the things, materials. Yeah, so this is where you find your properties. So bottom left, you find a timeline. If you want to increase its size, you just come here and you drag it up, and the same applies to all the other areas, just in case you want to increase and decrease on these sizes. It will really depend on how you want to see things in your 3D viewport. So down here we have what we call the status messages. It is always here. It just helps you to see what's going on in your viewport. In case you're rendering, things will come up here. Just in case you have an error in your 3D works, everything will just show up down here. You might barely notice it, but they will always pop up down here. And if every time something pops up, you will always know if it's dangerous to you or if it's good. So now we are going to look at regions. Regions are these additional things you see here. There is what we call the header, which is this one. You can see it as you look up here. All of this is called a header, and you can find the various options here where you can switch the editor type to any other kind of editor, and you can always come here and switch to object mode, weight paint, sculpt mode, and all other things. Then the view and all these menus do different things. The global, then I always switch different things, but we shall look at those as you get into the tutorials of Blender. So the toolbar is this one, which has different tools that you can use while editing your different objects. So this one is a select. You just click on it and hold your click, and then you can always be able to release it when you reach an option that you want. So it has the 3D cursor where you can place it anywhere you want, and all these other tools that are very useful. So in case you don't have it or you want to make it disappear, you can always press T and it disappears, and again press T, then it comes back. So another type of region we want to look at is the sidebar. So the sidebar is always located here, but you have to press N to receive it, and this includes items, tools, view, edits, and all any other thing. So another Another region we want to look at is this footer. This one just shows the recent operations you are carrying out on your object. So here we have the move operation, which you can always adjust and do a lot of stuff with it. So another region is the scroll bar, which is this one here down, and it can be on any editor. So this one just helps you zoom in and out, but an alternative can be like scrolling your mouse wheel and it will do the same. So if you're wondering what this is, that is just a scroll bar. So another thing we want to look at are panels. Panels are rectangular units that you see here in the different menus. So this is a panel and this is a panel. So as you click into the different properties, you're gonna see these panels. So guys, that is it for today's video, and thank you for keeping up with the video all the way through, and I hope general. If you like the video that you're watching, please give us a thumbs up, and remember to consider subscribing to our channel and leave a comment in the comment section below. Until we catch up next time, have a nice one.